since lockdown, there's been a lot of other mothers and fathers that I know that are holding children that are
Yeah.
really struggling. And they are the children that are more sensitive in general
Yeah.
and don't necessarily fit into this um, model of the fastest and the best wins.
Mm.
Children are canaries in a coal mine. They are telling us we need meaning. We need
Yeah.
something more. This isn't working for us.
Mm.
And so for me, it is this linear competitive energy that's pushing them to go faster, to compete.
Mm.
And with social media, the pressure that that's creating on them to look the best, to be the best, and there's this innate sense, well, I'm not good enough, and therefore I might as well just not be here.
Not bother, not do
And
anything.
it's really breaking my heart. And I know we, as our generation, have also been victims to that, being put into a school system
Yeah.
where we need to be cogs in a wheel of a system that wants to grow and expand and drive. And there's been such a resistance within me to that,
Mm.
because where is
Yeah.
my essence? Where is my joy? Where is who I want to be?
Yeah.
I only have this one life. We all do.
Will do. Yeah.
And I need to feel love at its core, or it just doesn't have meaning for me.
No, and it's the same. It's the same for me. And I really rebelled at school. I found it really constraining. I went to a Catholic convent school, and I found it really constraining. And there was no room for um, the well, for people like me who thought outside the box, who did things differently, who can see things in or just different ideas about things. That way, everything had to be within this particular framework. And I loved art and I loved music, and but all of that had to be constrained down this narrow way of doing it. And anything that I did that was a bit out there was just I wasn't allowed that expression, and I wasn't
Yeah.
allowed that expression growing up. And then, of course, what the skills that we learn instead of being able to express, the skills that we learn are repressing and how to keep ourselves shut down and that we don't feel good enough. And we learn the skills very well of conforming and
Mhm,
people pleasing and all of those. We basically learn trauma responses: fight, flight,
mhm,
freeze, people
mhm,
please, collapse, all
mhm,
of that.
mhm,
That's what we all become good at. But of course, ultimately, those break us and make us unable to function. So the key is to come somewhat, I mean, it does need a systemic change, but we have to start with us. So it's as in us as individuals coming together in community, co-creating, changing it and making a stand. And it is things
mhm,
like saying my child isn't going to be competing at sports because they find it too heartbreaking to compete against friends. That is a really out there statement in the world that we live in. But if whatever it is that your child is asking, if you really stand by them, what they learn is trust. They learn that they're heard. They learn that they're okay, that their nervous system is safe, that they're allowed to say what they think, that they're allowed to have a voice. So they learn these skills from the heart. They learn that they're worthy because
mhm,
we all have a we most of us grow up with a sense of not being good enough or not being worthy enough.
mhm.
and
Yeah.
and actually if they're heard, listened to, and the parent as parents we have to start with supporting them and hearing them and then acting on what they're saying because they
Mhm,
can't do it, they're powerless, particularly in school systems. So we have to advocate for them, and then those are the little seeds of change, and they might be tiny, but tiny little lots of tiny seeds will create a big forest.
yeah. And I think, what I innately know is that each of us has a seed of uniqueness, a seed of potential in us that we know is here to be joyful, is here to be expressed.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's about supporting every child to know and to find that essence and to be allowed, as you said, Emma, to express that essence, to really listen to them and support them to know that they're worthy and that their unique essence can be nurtured, even if it's soft and gentle and quiet, that there's space for that, and it's beautiful. And we don't only value the loud and the brash and the one who can charge the fastest. That all of the full spectrum of life, from the quietest to the loudest. And I really know this because my two children are on that
Yeah.
spectrum. I have the quietest, little gentlest girl and the most dynamic, expressive boy. So I know the spectrum. As a mother, I have held the spectrum,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's making space for on both of those spectrums. For my son who's joined the Marines now, it was like, how do I hold this energy? Where is its place? Where is its place? And yet it has a place. It has a place, and it needs to be able to find itself and find its service to life. And I don't know where my son's path is going, but I know I need to allow him to explore it. And same with my daughter. And to find that way that the warrior can bring its essence through, and the gentlest whisper can bring itself through, and co-create a place of safety for all of us,
Yeah.
where we all have a place, and we all have safety within our own bodies, in our own nervous systems, that we can slow down
Yeah.
and support each child and ourselves. We can heal ourselves and support ourselves as well, to find enough space to be.
Yeah.
And then we join hands with each other, and I've got you.
Yeah.
And that deep, relaxation, that deep out breath. There's no longer a race to be had.
Mm.
There's a listening to that deep feminine, which our ancestors knew how to do when the
Yeah.
women went into the red tents, and they listened. They were the guiding force of that beautiful masculine energy that would go out and create and lead,
Yeah.
and how they worked together, and bringing back this synergy of listening and downtime, and tuning in, that can support our beautiful energy that commits and that drives, and that but it's driving towards purpose and passion and togetherness, and building a forest. It's planting trees
Mhm.
and fruits. This is metaphorically,
It
but
is
things
metaphorically.
that feed us, that feed the earth and feed community. And then our children feel, yes, I want to be part of that. This is a world I want to be part of. This is a world that inspires me. This is a world where I can find my place and I can contribute.